Life doesn't always go the way we expect. The storms come and the challenges seem endless. You've prayed, you've waited, and yet nothing seems to happen. You might be asking, God, where are you? Let me remind you of this truth. God's timing is perfect. Even when it feels like He's late, He's never a moment too early or a second too late. He's always on time. I know the waiting can be hard. It can feel like your prayers are falling on deaf ears. But I want to encourage you today. God sees you. He hears you, and He's working even when you can't see Him. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Notice, it doesn't say some things, it says all things. Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough in your finances, your health, or your relationships. And maybe it feels like the answer isn't coming. But God's delay are not His denials. He isn't ignoring you. He's preparing you. Sometimes the very things we think are setbacks are actually set up for something greater. Think about Joesph in the Bible, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and thrown into prison. But God was with him every step of the way. And in God's perfect timing, Joesph was elevated to a position of power that allowed him to save countless lives, including his own family. What if Joesph had given up in the waiting? What if he had stopped trusting God? The same is true for us. God's plans for you are bigger than anything you can imagine. His timing is always worth the wait. So, my friend, I want to encourage you today. Don't give up. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Even when you don't understand what God is doing, trust that He is working all things together for your good. Psalms 27:14 says, wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Waiting isn't easy, but it's always worth it. God never leaves His children empty-handed. When He shows up with everything we need and more. Think of a seed planted in the ground. For a while, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath that surface, roots are growing. Strength is being built. And in time, the seed bursts forth into something so beautiful. That's how God works in our lives. God is never late. His love for you is unchanging, and His promises are true. Whatever you're facing today, hold on to this truth. God is working in your waiting. His plans for you are good, and His timing is perfect. Take heart, my friend. Trust Him, even when it doesn't make sense. And when He answers, and He will, you'll look back and say, God, you were right on time. Share this message with someone who needs encouragement today. Let them know that God is faithful and He takes care of those who love Him. Remember, God is always on time. You be blessed.